Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are back for our NFL Week 8 picks. Now, Gil, help me out there. Who is that over there? Who is that over there? Can you tell
Where?
me who that is?
Where?
In this, other than me and you, who's over there?
Oh, it's Jose Carlos Gomes.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He managed to keep himself awake today to join the show, Jose. Do you want to explain what happened last week, Jose, to you?
I just fell asleep. Was tired from work and just fell asleep.
Yeah, Jose had a long day and fell asleep during the Raptor game last week, but he is back this week to officially make his picks in front of your eyes. And we are, of course, joined by Gilbay Santos, who I don't think I'm going to call him Gilbay anymore after the way his team plays, because it's just insulting to him at this point. Now they're losing to quarterbacks I'd never heard of. So, Heineke they're losing to now. So we'll let Gil explain that and what's bothering him later. But for now, we're going to make our week 8 picks. Guys, please like, subscribe, and join our show. Steve Souza, if you're listening to this, it doesn't have to be live for you to put comments. As soon as you hear us say something you don't like, just comment. Just put it down. I will respond to you. Okay? It doesn't have to be live for you to respond. Okay? But we'll get to that and what's bothering us. But for now, let's start our week 8 picks as all of us went 8-6 last week, a first time for us ever on the show. And the records remain the same as a result. Jose is protecting his lead, and we're trying to catch up. Now, let's start with the Thursday nighter. The Baltimore Ravens, who got Gus Edwards back in the lineup, which helped them win a game that they barely hung on to against Cleveland. They're having trouble holding leads this year. Against the embarrassing Bucks, Tom Brady, go home and be with your wife and kids. Like, it's getting embarrassing now. Having said that, Jose, who do you like in this one?
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay in this one. I just think Tampa Bay needs this game to keep in the playoff hunt, and I think Tampa Bay is good. They have a good running defense, so and that's their strength is the Ravens is the run game. So I think Tampa Bay will make a couple of stops and then they'll throw a couple touchdowns to Evans and stuff like that. So I'm liking Tampa Bay in this one at home.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Jose. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. More of a gut feeling than anything. Prime time. The Bucks just they're looking as just bad as the Packers are and the Niners, and we're all looking bad right now. The Colts, all our friends' teams are all garbage right now. So, but I think Brady needs to snap out of it. For like Jose said, the Bucks need to win, and Lamar Jackson makes a lot of mistakes. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
I'm going to disagree, guys. I'm going to take Baltimore, and I'm going to take Baltimore because Tampa Bay has not shown an ability to stop running quarterbacks. Last week, Carolina ran all over that defense. Tampa Bay's offense is struggling mightily, and I'm having my doubts as to whether they can fix it. Now, Baltimore's defense is horrible, so if you're going to fix it against a team, it's going to be Baltimore's defense. But I just can't trust Tampa Bay right now. They got a lot of issues in that locker room and with Tom Brady right now, who's not playing at his best. And they just can't seem to get open for wide receiver wise. And they're stacking the box and stopping Leonard Fournette, and they're having Brady throw like 50 times a game. So I think Baltimore's going to win this game. Lamar gets it going, runs for a few first downs, and Gus Edwards has a big game for me on my fantasy team. And that's right, I'm facing Jose this week. So I need a big fantasy game from Gus Edwards because if you look at our quarterbacks, it's going to be an embarrassing quarterback show. So it's going to be other guys that have to step up.
Good luck.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll get to that later. By the way, in case you're wondering, it's Kirk Cousins against Daniel Jones. Watch Gil's face.
Yeah, well, they beat the Packers twice.
Yeah, there you go. So to our Sunday games, this game is a joke. I do not want to pick this game at all, but I have no choice. Uh, Gil's horrific Denver Broncos, who started Mark Rippon last week and might go back to Russell Wilson this week, take on the equally awful Jaguars. Now, if you think our quarterback matchup was bad last week, Gil had to put in Trevor Lawrence because he had 4 quarterbacks that just didn't want to play for him. So it's getting ugly in fantasy when you lose your main guy. Denver at Jacksonville. Like, good luck, guys. Gil, Are you going to stick with Denver again?
I have to.
Yeah,
I
there you
have
go.
to. They have to win this game. Trevor Lawrence makes a lot of mistakes. That Denver defense should be able to stop Lawrence. I think they just changed. They just traded Robinson away.
Yes, they did.
Am I correct? So their running game, they're gonna that just put everything on Saint Denis.
Yeah.
So, but Denver's D is really good. So I'm gonna go with Denver on this one.
The question is whether Denver's offense will score enough points. Jose, who do you got in this one?
I like Denver in this one. I think their defense is keeping them in the game, even if their offense is garbage. The defense has been keeping them in all of the games that they played this year. So I think Denver will steal a couple of possessions off of Trevor Lawrence's turnovers, and Denver will win the game. But a close one, a close one.
Yeah. I'm also going to take Denver, and I'm going to take Denver because I think Russell Wilson took the week off last week. I think he just had enough of the fans, and he felt like he was kind of injured, but playing injured, and he just said, you know what, I'm going to take the week off so you guys can see what it's like without me. And they lost 13-6 to the Jets. I think Russell Wilson has to come back and he has to win this game, and he has to shut up the crowd. No better team to do it against than the Jacksonville Jaguars, whose offense is horrific. So expect a very low scoring game and Denver to somehow win it with a McManus field goal. But I wish I didn't have to pick this game. But we all have Denver, so there you go. To another ugly game, the Carolina Panthers, who traded everybody and still kick Tampa Bay's ass. They go to Atlanta to take on the Marcus Mariota-led Falcons, who just run the ball all day and hope for the best. That sure worked against my 49ers, and last week it didn't work against freaking Joe Burrow. Hey, Vania, you're lucky. Freaking Joe Burrow basically made up for a 0 on your team. But I'll start with Jose. Who do you like in this one?
I like ATL at home. I think their defense is much improved this year. Their run game is strong. I think Carolina's last week was just a fluky win. I don't think that's going to happen again. They're starting to get rid of everybody, so they're going to start tanking. And so I'm taking Atlanta in this one.
Gil?
Same thing. Gonna take Atlanta. I just think Mariota is gonna run that. With the quarterback option, I think Carolina's defense is gonna be lost.
Yeah, I got Atlanta too. I think Carolina. I agree with Jose. They got lucky one game. Their run defense is awful, and all the Atlanta Falcons do is run, and so it's going to be a long day for Carolina. So I got Atlanta as well. In case you're wondering, guys, Mr. Malfera has not made his picks yet, and so I will eventually let you know what they are. But he has a deadline tomorrow, and he'll get his picks in then. Chicago, the Bears, who I don't know how they did it, but they just pounded the Patriots on Monday night. Bill Belichick really screwed that up. I'll get into that and what's bothering me. They go to Dallas, take on the Cowboys, who did come through for me as the lock of the week, but boy, it was the most unconvincing 18-point win you'll ever see in your life. Two struggling offenses. Gil, what do you got in this one?
Oh, the Bears pounded the Patriots, but now they're gonna get pounded by the Cowboys. They're not gonna do nothing to that Cowboy defense. Sorry, no, not the Bears. Their offense is garbage. They're not touching that Cowboy defense. Cowboys should win this one easily.
Jose?
Yeah, I agree. I think Dallas should win this game easily, but it's gonna. It was to be expected, a struggle with Dak Prescott coming back off an injury last week. It was to be expected of them to take their time. Chicago played well against New England, but I think they got to open up the playbook. Let Justin Fields run the ball, do his play actions, do his running and stuff like that. I think they got to open him up as the playbook more for him, and give him more weapons. I don't think he has enough weapons for him to develop into a star quarterback yet. So, but I like Dallas in this one.
Yeah, I last week they finally opened up the playbook a little bit for Fields. He had some option runs, which led to them rushing for over 200 yards in the game. Kept New England off balance. The quarterback controversy caused New England to just their whole team to fall apart. But this won't happen against Dallas. Chicago's run defense is awful. If I'm Dallas and Mike McCarthy, I'm running the ball all day in this game, and Dak Prescott only needs to throw the ball 15 times and they win the game easy. But Dallas doesn't do anything easy, so the game will probably be close, but Dallas wins the game. The Miami Dolphins, who struggled against Pittsburgh last week but found a way to win, they go to Detroit to take on the Lions, who always find a way to lose. They had the ball first and goal on the 1 and fumbled. Ended up turning a 13-9 game into a 24-6 game somehow in the fourth quarter. Detroit always finds a way to lose. Jose, who do you got in this one?
Miami, I think with Tua back, you see that the offense is totally different with Tua back. Their defense is solid too, so I like Miami in this one.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Miami. They didn't convince me last week though. That Steeler defense put them in place. They won. Pittsburgh just couldn't score, or else they would have won that game easily. Miami's defense held up, but I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions pull an upset here.
Yeah, I agree with Gil. I'm going to take Miami. Wouldn't be surprised if it'd be an upset. If Miami is smart, they run the ball more often. They're throwing it way too much. Raheem Mostert has been quietly one of the best running backs in the last 4 weeks of the season. Uh, the Detroit run defense is awful. They should run the ball more and set up the play action. When you've got guys like Waddle and Hill, that's what you want. You don't want to just be force feeding them the ball, and that's what happened in Pittsburgh. And they were lucky to come up with a 19-10 win. But I got the Dolphins, but I think it'll be closer than people think. Arizona, the Cardinals, just a team that just no one knows what to expect from. They play the 5-1 Vikings, much to Gil's chagrin. The division looks to be slipping away as Kirk Cousins is running away with it right now. But we haven't seen him choke yet. We'll see what happens. But they go to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Gil, I'm sure you're going to take Arizona, hoping your Green Bay Packers find a way to come back.
It's not even just hoping that. I'm not even gunning for that, but Kirk Cousins, I think, is going to choke. Arizona last week looked like the Arizona that everybody was expecting. Hopkins is back. Kyle Murray was everywhere. They scored 45 points. That's the Arizona that they wanted to happen. When they were playing bad, the coach had a in-conference meeting amongst the players, and it looks like they worked it out. They played well against the Saints. Defense needs to step a little bit better, but the offense looks like they got rolling.
Jose?
I have Arizona winning this one. I think it's going to be a close game. I just thought with D-Hop back, it's just a different offense. I think it gives them more weapons and stuff, and Robbie Anderson's there too now, so that's another option. Benjamin, the running back's been doing well too. So I like Arizona in this one. I think Arizona is going to squeak out a win.
Yeah, I like Arizona in this one too. I think that their defense impressed me last week. I saw Kyler Murray and the coach fighting on the sideline. I wasn't overly impressed with their offense. Their defense won them that game by picking off Andy Dalton 3 times and getting 2 pick sixes. I think that the result might have been different had there not been 2 pick sixes. They let Dalton throw all over them. So I am worried about Minnesota having a field day with their offense, but I'll take Arizona to squeak one out. It'll be a high scoring game. But Arizona's got to win this game if they're going to be a playoff team. So I'll take Arizona. The Las Vegas Raiders finally exploded offensively against the Houston Texans. They won 38-20. They go on to New Orleans to take on, I don't even know who's playing for this team. There's so many injuries on the team. But they're at New Orleans. Jose, what do you got in this one?
I'm just going to take Vegas basically based on just New Orleans has too many injuries going on right now. Defense, a lot of good players are hurt. Offensive, Kamara has been disappointment this year. Michael Thomas can never seem to be healthy a whole full year. So, and Andy Dalton is always going to throw his picks here and there. So I'm just going to take Vegas.
Gil?
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. Jose pretty much said it all. New Orleans has no identity. They don't even know who their go-to guy is right now. They're just playing for the hell of playing. So I'm going to take the Raiders.
Yeah, Vegas starts their run last week and continues it this week. I have Vegas winning this game. New Orleans defense is one of the worst in the league, which no one would have thought coming in. to this season would have happened, but they have too many injuries, and so I got Vegas winning this one. To a game that should be very low scoring, the New England Patriots, who don't have a quarterback right now because of Bill Belichick. Nobody knows who the quarterback is. The reports are that Jones is starting the game, but the way Belichick wanted to play his quarterbacks last week, they don't have a quarterback. Count me as a Bailey Zappi fan just because of his name and the fact that he got his name chanted after Jones threw a pick. It was funny. It's Zappy, Zappy, Zappy chants. It was funny. So I expect to see Zappy in this game at some point because the Jets defense is for real. They go to the Jets to play the Jets, who just lost Brees Hall, tough injury. We'll see how that affects them. Gil, who do you got in this one?
I'm gonna take the Jets. I don't know if James Robinson's gonna fit into this offense yet because he starts to learn the playbook. But I don't know. The Jets. I don't know. This is very tough for me because my mind's saying Jets, but there's something in me saying the Patriots are gonna win. So I'll go with my gut. You know what? I'm gonna take the Patriots.
Jose.
I'm gonna take Patriots. I just think Belichick owns the Jets. He's always has a good game plan against them. Bryce Hall's gonna be a big loss for the Jets because now their running game is gonna be weak. Like Gil was saying, Robinson's gonna take his time to get to know the playbook, so he's probably not gonna play a couple of snaps this week. I just think the Jets are being overhyped. They've been playing well. They've been lucky a couple of games to squeak out a couple of wins here and there. So, but I just think that Belichick knows the system, knows the Jets very well, and I think they'll pull out a win.
I'm going to take the Jets. New England looks like they're in disarray. They have their own players questioning their coach. The Jets' defense is real. Their offense sucks, but their defense is real. I don't believe in Mac Jones. I haven't since he's been in the league. He looks really awful, especially in the last half of the season and the first part of this season. Zach Wilson is no better, but Michael Carter, people have forgotten, he can play. He can run. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I think the Jets win because of their defense, and New England loses because they don't have a quarterback. So I'll take the Jets and stick with them. They're 5-2. They can really bury New England with this one. So I like the Jets. The Jets have always given New England problems, even when Brady was there. So I'll take the Jets in this one. Won't spend too much time on this one. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they go to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. I'm not going to say anything else. Jose?
Philly, but it's going to be a close one with if TJ Watt's supposed to come back. So it's going to be a shit disturber on the defense, but Philly should win the game.
Nice. Gil?
Battle Pennsylvania. I think this is the upset for me. I'm taking the Steelers on this one.
Wow. Okay. Why?
I think if Watt comes, it's hard for me to pick because we still don't know if he's coming. But if he comes, I think that whole team rejuvenates. And the defense is good enough to stop the Eagles. They just got to get Harris going, run the game, ground and pound on the Eagles. The Eagles are not going to be perfect. And looks too simple on the board. They're a 10-point favorite. And like Jose said, it's not going to be a 10-point game. It's going to be close.
I'm going to take the Eagles. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they don't have a quarterback. Their defense has been better recently. If they get Watt back, it will make a difference. Najee Harris has been a massive disappointment. I don't see how they score more than the Eagles in this game, so I'll take the Eagles. Tennessee Titans and Derek O. Henry go to Houston, take on the Texans. A tricky game all the time, even though it looks like it's one-sided. Gil, who do you like in this one?
Tennessee.
That was quick. Jose.
I don't.
Same Tennessee. It's gonna be one of those close games though. It's not gonna be a blowout or anything. That's a divisional game. Houston's been improving all year, but you can't go against Tennessee right now. They're playing good football.
I got Tennessee. I will say this: Tannehill struggles against Houston. They lost the game at home last year to this team that they needed to get the number one seed, and they were lucky everyone else lost, and they still got the number one seed. But I gotta believe off a bye that they're gonna win this game. Henry should be nice and rejuvenated, so I'll take Tennessee. To a game that might be the ugliest football game all year, and I want you guys to watch Gil's face as I say this one. The Washington Commanders, led by Tyler Heineke, go to Indianapolis to take on Sam Ehlinger and the Colts because Matt Ryan has been benched. Tony Barbosa, if you're out there watching, I tried to warn you. When they traded for Matt Ryan, I told you it was an older Carson Wentz. Guess what? They didn't wait as long this time to bench him. They just benched him early at 3-3-1. Because I like Gil's face on this one, I want to hear what he has to say about this matchup. I'm going to ask him first who he likes.
Well, I don't like none of them, but I'm gonna take the Colts. They have Jonathan Taylor still in that backfield. Sam Ellinger, I watched him play. He played for my Longhorns. He's not bad. He's a gunslinger. Is he ready for the NFL? We'll see. So, I did watch the kid play. He's not bad. Don't think he's that horrible. But I'm gonna take the Colts. They're at home. They staff Taylor behind. They're gonna run more than anything. But the kid does have an arm, so just don't underestimate the kid either.
Jose?
I'm gonna take Indy too. I like it's one of those tough games to pick. Commanders played well last week, and their defense is improving lately. So, but I just think, like Gil said, I think if they keep running the ball with Taylor, a couple passes here and there to Pittman and Paris Campbell, I think this should be okay. And Indy needs this game, I think, more than Washington. So I'm gonna take Indy.
Okay, I had a very difficult time with this game, but I'm taking the upset here, and here's the reason why. Washington's pass defense is really good, and the Indianapolis problems are not just Matt Ryan. Their offensive line is brutal, and Matt Ryan is running for his life, and I don't think Sam Ehlinger is going to be any different. He's going to be running for his life. I don't have any faith in Heineke, but he did win some games last year that most people thought he wouldn't have won. And this might be one of them. Even Taylor struggled this year for Indy. So I think I'm going to take Washington to upset in this one because their defense could be good enough to get to Indy. And if they do knock out Engley, you got to go back to Ryan. That's going to be any better. So I'll take Washington in this one just for an upset. Oh, yes. Here we go. San Francisco, who has beaten the Rams 8 straight times, goes to LA, who had a bye week, and gets Van Jefferson back in the lineup to take on the Rams. I'm going to start with Jose because his pick is obvious because he's got the hat on. Let me see who he likes in this one.
After coming off of a shit performance by their defense last week, I think it's one of those games that they regroup and they attack Stafford, and the Niners win this one.
Gil?
Oh man, the Garoppolo man makes this game difficult for me. But that Niner defense, the last game they played in San Fran, just lit up Stratford. Rams had no idea what was going on. I'm gonna have to say if the Niners run on the Rams, they're gonna win this game. The Rams been having a difficult year this year. I'm gonna take the Niners on the road on this one.
Okay, guys. I'm going to take the Rams. And here's the reason I'm taking the Rams. It's not just Jimmy G, who is awful, and I'll talk about him later. I've watched the 49ers defense, and it's been awful. Atlanta ran all over them, and then Mahomes had a field day. And I don't think it's necessarily because of the defense is all of a sudden is bad. I think they've got a lot of injuries, this team. They just lost Juszczyk to an injury. He's out. Samuel has an injury. There's a lot of injuries on this team. And I think that the Rams are going to take advantage off a bye week. They're going to be fresh, and they're going to want to get their rivals. I hate taking the Rams in this game, but I'm looking at the 49ers. They're just falling apart defensively. They got a lot of injuries. And Jimmy G, I have zero faith in. And I will get to why I have zero faith in them. They're now 3-4. A team with one of the better defenses in the NFL is 3-4. and you know why. But I'll get into Jimmy G later. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I'm going to take the Rams because they're coming in off a bye and we fired up to beat this team. So I'll take the Rams. G-Men. Gil, the G-Men are 6-1. They're 6-1. Maybe that's why Jose's starting Daniel Jones this week. They go to the Seabags to take on your boy Geno Smith, and they're 5-2. Who would have ever thought that we'd see this matchup?
Who's 5-2? What are you talking
sorry,
about?
what's Seattle? 4-3. They're 4-3. Yes, better than the 49ers, which is an embarrassment. But anyhow, Gil, who do you like in this game?
I don't like this game either. This is a tough one. This is like the Giants jersey going to Geno. Geno's he's probably a Jersey boy too. Who knows? I don't like this game at all, but I'm gonna take the Seahawks at home.
Jose?
I'm gonna take the G-Men out on the road. Defense is better. Off Barkley's playing MVP like he's putting MVP like numbers. So I'm gonna take the G-Men in this one.
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. Geno Smith's been the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. He's outplaying every quarterback in that division right now, which should go to show you how embarrassing that division is right now. And I think they're gonna finally pop the balloon in the G-Men's game. Now they do have a lot of injuries. Seattle, they've lost 2 of their wide receivers, but Kenneth Walker has been the best running back in the NFL for the last 2 weeks. And I think he takes advantage of that run defense in New York. So I'll take the Seabags. I'm not going to spend too much time in this game, but I will let Gil talk a little bit about this game. The Green Bay Packers, who have been awful this year, featuring an Aaron Rodgers who every other week throws his teammates under the bus. I'll get into that on what's bothering us. They go to Buffalo to take on the Bills. I got the Bills by 14. Jose?
I got Buffalo too.
Gil, I'll let you explain yourself, your team, and why you're taking the Bills, because I know you're not taking Green Bay this week.
Obviously, they've been awful, horrible. They have to bounce back. This ain't that. I don't think this is the game. But who knows? I don't even know anymore. Who the hell knows? They can just all throw us off, and it's a game's the other way. But theoretically, the Bills they should beat them. The Packers has been brutal. They started off 3-1. They're 3-4. They lost 3. Something's got to give. The GM's got to give them give Rodgers some weapons out there. So until he doesn't, this team's going to be struggling for the rest of the season.
I can't believe they lost to Washington last week and Tyler Heineke. I was stunned. But their run defense is so awful that the Commanders had a field day. And so, yeah, I got the Bills. And now we go to the Monday Nighter. The Cincinnati Bengals were starting to catch fire. Cost me a win last week in my fantasy pool because Joe Burrow went crazy, threw for 457 yards. They go to Cleveland to take on the Browns, who have a struggling defense right now. Jose, what do you got in this?
Cincy, they're rolling right now. Their offense is amazing, and I think Cleveland, besides the run game, if you stop the run game, they don't have any options. So the quarterback can't throw the ball either. So I'm taking Cincy in this.
Yo,
I think the Browns are gonna win. I think they're gonna ground and pound this game. Prime time in Cleveland, which is rare. They usually never get prime time games. So I think that stadium's gonna be rocking. They need to win. They're 2-5. So if they even want a chance to go into the division battle here, they gotta win. The Bengals might go into this game underestimating their opponents. So I think Cleveland. I have a feeling Cleveland's gonna win. I think they're gonna use Hunt and Chubbs, and use Brissett on a play action with Amari Cooper.
I'm surprised how bad Cleveland's defense is. Like, I did not expect their defense to be this bad. I thought they would keep them in games and allow Brissett to score less points, like Cooper Rush in Dallas, and let their run game control the clock. But their defense has been so awful. I don't see any chance Cleveland wins this game with the way Cincinnati's rolling right now. I got Cincinnati winning this game, and they're only a 3, so maybe we'll get into that in locks of the week. But for now, that's our picks for this week. A lot of similar opinions, a few different games. Jose maintains an 8-game lead, 7-game lead, protecting himself very well. Gil is 9 back, and Mr. Malfera is 2 back. But if he doesn't make his picks soon, he's going to be a lot more back because he'll go 0-14 on the week. So he better hurry up. Jose made sure in the morning he made his picks last week after he fell asleep. So that's our picks for this week. So we'll see what happens. We're going to talk more about last week and a little bit more of this week and what's bothering us. But for now, I'm the mouth of the North Angeles. That's Gil de Santos, and that's Jose Carlos Gomes, who's watching TV as he's doing this show. And he's not sleeping, which makes me very happy. But we'll see you in a little bit on what's bothering us, which will be the next Reach Report. Sayonara for now.